There's been a lot of fun over this past weekend. Friday, wiretapping. But I did say when we did Hillary Clinton after the concession speech, this was far from over. This was going to be a fight that lasted and that it would never end until she was in jail or we saw her tuck tail and run out of this country. Her and all her ilk all of a sudden just got on their private jets and evacuated. And of course, then we'd all, freak out. There's about to be nuclear war or some kind of biological agent. But in essence, this fight that we see going on right now would not be over until then. And here it is. We still see it going. And it's not close to being over. Now, obviously, on your screen, we're about to do the clapper. I don't know. I know it's not. You should think of the clap on, clap off. But I always think of toilet. For some reason, every time I see his name, I see crapper. So let's get started with the clapper.
Welcome, sir. Meet the press.
Thanks, Chuck, for having me.
Let me start with the president's tweets yesterday. This idea that maybe President Obama ordered an illegal wiretap of his offices. If something like that happened, would this be something you would be aware of?
I would certainly hope so. I can say, obviously, I can't speak of.
We're already seeing him adjust himself in the chair. And what you will continue to see is very poor eye contact as he speaks.
Officially anymore, but I will say that.
And then the shimmy shake. We see that with Pelosi a lot. Shimmy shake. Uncomfortable, not wanting to be in the position that he's at.
For the part of the national security apparatus that I oversaw as
And you see that eye movement there. It'll come this way towards the interviewer and then go almost as fast as it went towards the interviewer. It goes right back down.
I will say that for the part of the national security apparatus that I oversaw as DNI.
He does not want to give the interviewer good eye contact. He's doing the shimmy shake. He's very uncomfortable. All of these tells coming together are saying deception. He's being deceptive.
There was no such wiretap activity mounted against the president.
And you see how he's trying to give eye contact and he cannot do it as he's telling you this. And his body has gone still.
The president-elect at the time, or
president-elect at the time, head goes down.
As a candidate or against his campaign.
When his head went down, it's kind of like he was trying to avoid even that whole subject line. It would say to me at this point that he didn't know about wiretaps. And wiretaps these days are very sophisticated. I mean, it takes somebody breaking into your house. No, I'm just kidding. It takes somebody being at a computer and just pushing a button. That's how sophisticated these wiretaps are these days. It's hardly any effort at all. And when you don't have any effort to do a wiretap, or anything for that matter, it makes doing it and breaking the law that much more tempting. It used to be breaking into someone's house and putting in little bugs everywhere. And it's kind of like, wow, we could really get caught doing that. And then we'll have multiple charges, B&E, maybe property damage, not to mention the fact of illegally wiretapping someone. And nowadays, all you do is push a button. No break-in and entry, no property damage. And best yet, most nobody will know. Because the other part of bugging back in the old days is they could find the bugs.
I can't speak for other Title III authorized entities.
And he continues to try and get that eye contact. He cannot do it. And his body is still.
He's in the government or a state or local entity.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if the FBI, for instance, had a FISA court order of some sort for a surveillance, would that be information you would know or not know?
Yes.
You would be told this.
I would know that.
If there was a FISA court.
Now we saw there, he gave him good eye contact. If this was happening, you would be told this. And he said yes, and gave good eye contact with that. So we know he's capable of that good eye contact.
Order
Yes.
on something like this.
Something like this, absolutely.
And at this point, you can't confirm or deny whether that exists?
But he goes into something like this, absolutely, closes his eyes, closing himself off from this rhetoric.
I can deny it.
I can deny it. Gates his hands, as we saw right before it cut away, shakes his head in a roundup, closes his eyes, I can deny it, and then opens his eyes. Watch it again.
Absolutely.
And at this point, you can't confirm or deny whether that exists?
I can deny it.
There is no...
So I can deny it. Eyes kept closed for longer than they should be. but can look at him after the fact. It's his attempt to seem honest. He couldn't say it looking at him. He avoided eye contact until after the statement.
No FISA court order.
Not to my knowledge.
Of anything at Trump Tower?
No.
Well, that's an important revelation at this point. Let me ask you this. Does intelligence exist that can definitively answer at this point? Let me ask you, of anything at Trump Tower? There is no FISA court order.
Not to my knowledge.
Of anything at Trump Tower?
No.
Well, that's an important revelation at this point. Let me ask.
Well, it's kind of irritating. It would really be nice if we could have saw the before and after instead of just somewhat of the no in there to see if he was giving good eye contact. Because that FISA court order would make it to where we can say, this is completely illegal, or if it was not illegal.
Let me ask you this. Does intelligence exist that can definitively answer the following question, whether there were improper contacts between the Trump campaign and Russian officials?
We did not include any evidence in our report, and I say our, that's NSA, FBI, and CIA with my office, the Director of National Intelligence, that had any reflection of collusion between members of the Trump campaign and the Russians.
There he's doing that shimmy shake again, not giving good eye contact, and he's in search mode. We're watching his eyes, and he's not actually accessing any memory or any kinetics or anything. He's really literally just searching his brain. Search mode. And he's just, which goes into deception. He's being deceptive.
There was no evidence of that included in our report.
I understand that, but does it exist?
Not to my knowledge.
If it existed, it would have been in this report.
This could have unfolded or become available in the time since I left the government.
Having a hard time with that eye contact. Again.
But at the time, we had no evidence of such collusion.
There's a lot of smoke, but there hasn't.
At the time, he had no evidence of whatever the Russia stuff.
We had no evidence of such collusion.
There's a lot of smoke.
Available in the time since I left the government. At the time, we had no evidence of such collusion.
There's a lot of smoke.
And he's being deceptive on that one as well. At the time, I had no evidence of the collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign, which means that they have something that would link the campaign to the Russians. No, Mandy, he's not doing it. It's always a lie. I'm just telling you what is being seen. And on top of it, remember, there's a belief system. He can believe Jeff Sessions using the same toilet as the Russians is collusion. Relax.
Smoke, but there hasn't been that smoking gun yet. At what point should the public start to wonder this is all just smoke?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I do think, though, it is in everyone's interest, in the current president's interest, in the Democrats' interest, in the Republican interest, in the country.
Not giving good eye contact. We're going to skip towards the end because we've already established that he's extremely deceptive. But I want to go towards the end because this is where we see he can actually give good eye contact.
Obama, certain things that we could not corroborate or validate, but that we just thought he ought to know it was out there.
All right. James Clapper, I have a feeling. Do you expect to have to testify on Capitol Hill among these things?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt.
All right. Mr. Clapper.
See, he can't actually look at somebody. He's just a deceptive individual. I don't know, for somebody to be in that much deception all the time, when I see that, it's not really about what their words are that are coming out of their mouth. To me, it goes into there's something deeper being hidden. When I see it that much on things that should be, why is he showing deception there? Because that is something that, everybody knows. It's okay to be not deceptive, especially. There's a little bit in there where he sit there and goes, and we would sometimes brief President Obama on things I didn't have complete intelligence on, but that he felt that the president needed to be made aware of. And so when I see that and I see him acting like this, it tells me there's a deeper layer there that he's trying desperately to hide. And I'm betting that he's going to guard that with everything that he's got. And we might start seeing it as these other heads come out and start talking. Loretta Lynch's interview that we'll be doing this morning as well. There's something else going on, something much deeper that he's trying desperately to keep hidden. And obviously it's got to do with the Trump administration or the ongoing coup attempt, or more of what they have done to try and, besides just wiretapping, what else have they done that we just haven't found yet? There's something else, something deeper. If you liked it, leave a like. If you liked the content, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.